So James, obviously terrible news. How did it feel for you, and how was making the decision? Was it obviously a difficult one, but how was it?
It was made for me, unfortunately. I crashed in Germany in terrible conditions, and it's the first time I've tried to ride it in the rain since I came back with the injury. And I haven't got hardly any range of movement in my wrist, and because of that I have to use all my arm to open the throttle, and it's not, it's not intricate enough to do it safely. In the dry, the traction control and everything saves me a bit, but in the wet conditions with the grip levels, it's just not possible to open it safely. And I knew I was going down, and I did. And I was laid on the floor, and it slapped me down quite hard. And I just realised then that I'm not actually safe to be out there in those conditions for the first time, and that was really what woke me up to it. And so I rang my surgeon, Mike Hayton, on Monday morning, just to see if he could meet me that week, to see if there was anything that could be done, because the strength's come back, the pain's gone down quite a bit, but I'd noticed for the last 2 or 3 months really that the range wasn't getting any better, and this was my biggest problem, because obviously applying the throttle on a motorbike, you need the bend in the wrist to open it. And he was flying to Vegas on a conference, and he said, I can meet you at Heathrow Airport, because I'm connecting there to go out there. So I met him at Heathrow Airport, and in a bar there, and we were just talking through it, and he said, unfortunately, it's just the way the bones have settled, and with the damage that you did was really extensive. Unfortunately, no physio or anything is going to be able to improve your range of movement. And I was half expecting it, because on the phone when I rang him, I said, can I meet you because I've got this problem, and he said on the phone, I'm going to have to be honest with you. He didn't explain what he was going to be honest about, but I put 2 and 2 together, and so I knew it could have been bad news, and unfortunately it was. And I sat in the car just after he left, and I realised that I wasn't going to be able to ride a motorbike as well as I did before, and that means that put me out of winning races and winning championships again, and that's all I did it for, so he made the decision for me.
So obviously you raced to win, and with the injury it's prohibiting you somewhat. Did that make the decision any easier, or was it still one of the hardest decisions of your life?
It just wasn't my decision. I've had an injury that unfortunately has disabled me enough not to be able to ride a motorcycle competitively anymore. My motivation and my drive has always been to succeed and to win championships, because I've been lucky enough to do it for a long time, and I know the elation that you get from succeeding and winning. And it would be more upsetting for me to ride around and finish in 10th position from now on in than it would be to finish. I've ridden for this team a long time. They were the Ducati team I won the championship with, and now they're with the BMW, and the team's too good and the bike's too good, and there's riders out there that can do a better job, and that breaks me out, because I've never had to, I never thought that. I always had the confidence in myself that nobody deserved to ride more than me at that point. But at this point I've got to sit back and say, there is people out there that deserve a good chance of getting in this team now.
Yeah. You've had what has been an amazing career. What would you sum up as your proudest moments?
The 2 championships. The first one was amazing. I was only 23 years old. It was 2 days before my 24th birthday. It was the best birthday present I could ever have wished for. And the 2007 championship with who I competed against and beat, with the Troy Baylisses, the Biagis, and the Norrie Hargers, and everybody that was so strong that year. That was a proud moment for me, and the first person to win it in a satellite team, not in a factory team, and obviously doing it with the 2 manufacturers. So those 2 championships really stand out for me. Highlights in MotoGP, making a nice man of Valentino every now and again at Qatar, and passing him a few times in Australia and Phillip Island in 2008, and nearly qualifying at pole position was a real big thing for me in Qatar in my first race. But on a whole, you know, I think in the 8-year career I had in World Superbikes, 5 or 6 years of those were inside the top 4 of the championship, you know, and so when you've had that kind of consistency, you've took quite a few trophies home and had a really, really good time, and so on a whole, it's just been an amazing career for me.